Join me as you and I and you take a journey to become better writers together and geek out.
Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, Written Writ Ralph, talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. And today we have with us our friend Rob Longo and, of course, Roaming Tony. Rob, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Pleasure to be here, my friends.
Yes, folks, today is us just geeking out, so you guys get a treat because I feel like it's a treat for us when we get a chance to geek out. So, Rob, just to start this thing off right, let the people know who you are, what you do, all the good stuff, so they can know who they're listening to.
Sure. Rob Longo, owner of 2121 Productions, film director, most recently The Husband horror movie, and all-around swell guy.
Yes, you are. We've been friends for a long time now, and I have to say you are a swell guy. I'm putting the link for the movie in the comment section so you guys can go check it out. I gotta say though, your movie's popular because I'm looking at the views on this here, and you are at what is it, like 13,000 views? Whoa, that's even more than the last time we talked.
Yeah, we're about to hit 14,000 views, I think, on the Kings of Horror YouTube channel.
Nice.
So go watch it for free, stream it, enjoy it, love it, leave a like and a comment. You know the drill.
Now that people have been watching it like this, right? What do you feel? What kind of feedback have you got?
Really positive. You know, we were worried that we had a story that people weren't going to get, and people got everything, and even asked some like good questions, and some things that I thought that they weren't even going to notice. They noticed. They even put it in the comment, even through the live stream. You know, they're like, there's no spoilers or anything. They're like, what did he show her in the garage? We never see that scene. Like, oh my gosh, we never shot that scene. I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't feel like we needed to show everything that happened, but I did. Nobody missed anything. So they paid attention, and the lean-in angle was big, and I love that. So it felt good.
I gotta say, when I was watching it with the rest of the live people, it was fun to see all the stuff popping up on in the comments, and I was like, oh, okay. And you're right though, there's stuff in there I was like, whoa, they noticed that. And it was a lot of fun. You did what was it, a live premiere for this, right?
Yes. Yeah, on the Kings of Horror YouTube channel, 3 weeks ago, I think it was.
Feels like it was just yesterday.
I know, right? Time flies.
Dude, man. And
it's 1997 already again.
Are you telling me? Have you started working on the next one?
Oh yeah, we started shooting Meat Face back last year in December.
Oh, nice.
We're shooting again, resuming shooting in March and in April. So getting it done.
So are you looking to get it out by this October or next October?
This October 2024.
I had a feeling because it felt like you were pushing it. They go, come on, we can get it for this October.
Yeah, one a year, do or die.
Right before Halloween.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and hopefully, we'll have another streaming party kind of thing, with Kings of Horror, whoever. We'll see. To be determined, but looking forward to it and just getting them out there and, getting everybody's reactions and everything.
And I know you're going to start hitting the shows too, right? The cons and whatnot.
That's the plan. We'll see if that part of the plan works out. I hope it does. It's always, tough to shoot and then edit and get it out there and market it. And then, and we need to do conventions. So it's like a whole nother endeavor. At least by the third film, for sure, we will.
Well, that makes sense then, because then you got three products. You know better than anybody that you need the product on the table so that people go, oh,
yeah. Merchandise is kind of important.
The good thing is you also have Vixens of Virtue. So I guess, or are you trying to keep that separate?
I don't know. I think I'm keeping it separate. I mean, Vixens of Virtue, that was 2006 and 2009. I would like to think that in 2024, I'm a much better filmmaker now.
Yeah.
So I would rather Vixens be remembered fondly, and people look forward to a reboot of some sort. Although somebody told
working on, right?
Yeah, somebody told me though that VHS is making a strange comeback, almost like how vinyl has made a huge comeback over the last decade. So they're like, why don't you do Vixens on a VHS like collection, like a box set? It's like, oh, that's a kind of cool idea. Like I can see the packaging for that and everything. So who knows?
You know, yeah. Because Vixens is that kind of quirky type of thing, yeah.
Yeah. You know, that fun superhero stuff. I don't know if you remember that time.
Oh, fun superhero stuff.
I've been seeing that too. Like people want some VHS tapes of stuff. Like it's making a strange comeback. I wonder if they just want to have it or if they still have the VCR to play it. It's the same thing with vinyl. I was wondering, do you still have a record player or do you just want to have it? Like I don't know.
I don't know. I think this, I think streaming is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but I think there are people, fans like ourselves, hardcore fans that always want something substantial to hold. Be it a DVD or a box set or nostalgia. VHS. Why not?
I mean, we learned a lesson over and over, man. Physical is the way to go. Stuff on streaming, you don't own it. Like
exactly.
When you think you own it, yeah, okay, they'll just take it away any second. Yeah.
I think it's funny though because especially PlayStation, even though they took it back, they got rid of some streaming stuff and they said, well, you don't really own it, so we're gonna take it away from you.
But it's crazy.
I'm like, this is why I buy physical copies, folks.
That's why
I bought done things from them, but it wasn't like something I wanted to own. I just wanted to see. But it's like $1 an episode, and then eventually, that I didn't own it anymore. I was like, that's fine. But I mean, if you're spending like lots and lots of money on this stuff, and you just know that you don't own it, and at any second they can just they just take it right from you. It's just crazy.
You were gonna say, Rob?
No, that's why my Nintendo Switch gets any love, because I like buying the little physical copies of the game and owning it and carrying them around with me in my little tray of cartridges. At least you don't have to blow into the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so funny because even Switch is making it hard for you to get physical copies of certain games, and I'm like, dude, just give me my physical copies. I know you want me to use this whole streaming type of thing, but look, man, Nintendo's never been good at it anyway. that whole thing that Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo's never been good at it. Nintendo, keep giving me my game.
Well, even like Sony, like the games that you have digitally on your PlayStation 3, you can't get them on your PlayStation 4. I know they're stale on your PlayStation 3. You have them, but you're not, you can't do anything with them. They're on that system. So
wait, with the PlayStation 3 games, can you play those physically on the PlayStation 4?
No. Oh, this one works. It's not backwards compatible. No.
Yeah, because I have so many PlayStation 3 games, and now I have a PlayStation 4, and I'm like, can I still play these? Do I still have to keep my PlayStation 3 out?
No. Nope. Yeah. I still have my PlayStation 3 out.
I still got mine, but I'm probably gonna have to replace the wire then, because my wire. That's the reason I use the PlayStation 4 now, because my wire on the PlayStation 3 started giving me some weird gimmicky stuff.
I've gone through I think this is like my 4th PlayStation 3s. They don't last very long.
They're not made to last.
No, you play them a lot. They don't last very long. This is my 2nd PlayStation. I had a regular PlayStation 4. It didn't last, and then I got a PlayStation 4 Pro. The PlayStation 4 Pro has lasted a bunch of years. But yeah, the PlayStation 3 now I went through a bunch. So I think the last one I replaced was last year. The only thing is if you back up all your files to a system, and it's like I have like a RAM drive. You can back everything up and just get a new system and put everything back. So yeah.
As you can see, folks, I'm old gamer here. And it's funny we're talking about this and all this stuff because it goes right into this whole X-Men 97 thing. And I know you guys have all seen the trailer. So starting with you, Tony, what do you think about the trailer?
It looks okay. I have to actually see an episode, but so far it looks okay. It looks okay. A lot of the voices are back. Not all of them, but a lot of them are back. I think
Yeah, a lot of the
like
original guys.
like Wolverine. Like the Wolverine's actor sounds pretty old. And I was watching one podcast where they're complaining about like that they have Gambit's original voice actor, and they're complaining about like why isn't he voicing Gambit? He's voicing somebody else. Like the dude is 60. He probably doesn't sound the same. I mean,
Exactly.
what happened?
Voices change.
I remember like the Transformers movie that I remember when Michael Bay did it. We were upset that Frank Welker didn't voice Megatron. And then he was like, well, what he said it was, Frank Welker's great, but he sounds like too much like a cartoon. That's why I got Hugo Weaving and that. They released a video game where Frank Welker. They released a video game where Frank Welker was doing Megatron. He did not sound the same, man. So now looking back, it's like, for all his faults, Michael Bay is a stand-up guy. He didn't say, that he heard him as Megatron. He said, nope, that's not. Try it. Let's try something else. But yeah, he didn't sound like that. I mean, yeah, it's not an easy voice, man. Some of these voices are not easy. We're talking like a cage, that's probably that. That's probably not an easy thing to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's hard to comment on anything, until you actually see
nothing's out yet. But people love commenting. Rob, what do you think?
Initially, I was super excited about it because I love the X-Men cartoons, near and dear to my heart. And I saw the trailer and shook my head a little bit. And then all the comments shook my head even more. It's like, I don't want to go down that nostalgia because it's just going to get ruined. And it gets ruined, on the corporate side of Disney, on the woke side, on the anti-woke side, and it becomes not fun anymore. And I kind of feel like that's where it is now, and this is like a writing prompt for your fans, Ralph. Every good story, especially superhero, supervillain stories, need an impact moment. What happened that impacted the world with the advent of superheroes? What direction did it take?
Right.
And if you look at like everything from, the Watchmen to, oh boy, really any superhero thing that's done well, there's like an impact event. If you look at the impact event of a world filled with Homo sapiens, and then all of a sudden there are Homo superiors, that's a huge impact event. Yeah. Beyond, not even, beyond inclusion and, welcoming everyone, they're actually another species, another race.
Yeah.
Like that's, that plays into real racism.
Yep.
And I don't think that was ever explored enough. And I think we're losing the opportunity to tell a story that really addresses that. Like, how do you feel about mankind? Is mankind born good or evil? If it's born evil, why? Is it out of its own to protect itself through things that are not only different, but can harm it or end it?
Right.
If you follow the X-Men comic book, Orcus releases a report that in 20 years there'll be no more Homo sapiens. And that's what starts Orcus's gain in not only popularity but power to eradicate Homo superior. So I think we've totally lost the message of comic books and X-Men. In the beginning, it was fun. Stan Lee said, I created mutants because I was too tired and lazy of coming up with how they got their powers. And I said they were just born mutants, and that was it. Right?
It was brilliant.
And I understood it. I mean, how many radioactive spiders are there, in the Marvel Universe? How many super soldier formulas are there in the Marvel Universe? So eventually, mutants are born, right? And then Chris Claremont came along, did his amazing run that brought prejudice and racism into it. But even in retrospect right now, if today mutants were a thing, there was Homo superiors, and I could be sitting here in this live stream right now, and Colossus and any C to B villain could be fighting him in my backyard right now. Colossus punches him into my studio and kills me. That's a problem.
Yes, it is.
It's a problem too that, you know, because of the hero and then thus you have to have a villain, they threaten the world. They threaten the existence of not only Homo sapiens, but the world itself. Not to mention the impact, if this was anywhere real, you know, what it would do to health insurance and life insurance and property insurance. It would be crazy, the impact of it.
Definitely.
And I think we have like lost the message of what the X-Men is about and wrapped it up into this woke, anti-woke stuff. Like, as a fan of comic books, like Morph, he can be non-binary. That's kind of interesting. You can shapeshift and you're non-binary. That's kind of interesting. How does he feel? Like, you know, and like the struggle of people who are, you know, prejudiced against because of several reasons is always fascinating. You know, Nightcrawler was a Catholic.
Yep.
Looked like a demon and was a mutant. You know, there's a
lot of combinations.
Yeah, there's a great episode of the old X-Men cartoon where, you know, he hands Logan a Bible. And then Rogue is having doubts about, you know, what they do and everything. And she finds Logan in the church praying to God, reading out of the Bible. Like
that won't happen now.
That will never happen. And like, we're not exploring. We're just not exploring enough. We're just too polarized up. This is bad. This is good.
Yeah.
So that's my really long rant. But you know, if you're writing a comic book, what is the impact of superheroes, superpowers, supervillains on your world? And it's been done well in some cases, and others it's just totally overlooked. You know, like Invincible, I think it's actually done really well. Yeah. You know, how do you deal with an alien race that wants to destroy you or take you into their empire? Like, that's the impact, and he's so powerful. You know, and now he has a son, but the son is part human, part virtual. Vermalite. How do you say it? You know, like that's more interesting, you know. And then he has a baby brother with the insect girl that his father falls in love with while he's away. Like, that's, I don't know, that's super interesting. Like
Robert Kirkman, man, he's a genius.
Yeah, he's good.
He is. Or I'm gonna get the name wrong, and I love this book. It's an older book, and it's about superheroes and supervillains are real, but the PR firms take over that impact event and they make them into superstars.
Ecstatics?
What is it?
Are you talking about Ecstatics?
No. But I can't remember it. Oh, it's killing me. It's on my shelf over there. I might have to run and go get it. But what's the impact event other than nostalgia of this new X-Men cartoon? And us all fighting over whether it's too woke or not woke enough, or
I haven't seen anything.
I just want to see, you know, Colossus.
If I get anything, I'll give it a shot, and if I don't like it, I just walk away from it. That's all. I'll give it a try.
But I feel, Rob, you have something there. But I think that's why Deadpool is going to do so well, is because it's just fun, comics style stuff. You know, hijinks and all that stuff, and you know, we understand the universe that Deadpool is in, you know, and what Deadpool does, and the breaking the fourth wall, and I feel like you know, that's why they're making him the Messiah that will save the MCU.
I don't think he's. I think he's gonna do his thing, and Marvel's gonna keep doing their thing. I don't think he's gonna save anything.
Ryan understands that character better than anyone. Like, talk about an actor that understands.
Oh my God, yeah. He is Deadpool.
Yeah, he understands the comedy of that character and everything. It's amazing.
I love the fact that he knows the character and he stands up for what he believes in, which is the reason why the Deadpool movies have been as good as they have been. Is because it's somebody who understands the comics, who understands the characters, and they're doing stuff. It's not the usual Hollywood shit where they go, "Oh, yeah, we know you comic people like them like this, but we're gonna change them like this." Because that's too comic booky. I hate that. It's too comic booky. Oh my god.
Sorry, I've got to ask you guys. So, if superheroes were real, like the X-Men, right now, would you side with Homo sapiens and want them registered, controlled, or exterminated? Or would you be like, oh, they're fine and great?
Good question.
I mean, I know we all want to believe that we all want to believe that we would side with the X-Men, but in reality, we would be like, nope, get those freaks out of here. We all want to believe that that's what we would be, but we probably wouldn't, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so like,
I think we'd be like, nope, sit to those, get rid of those freaks, those weirdos, we'd be like, they took our jobs, I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe it's a sad commentary on Homo sapiens in general, that we are born evil and selfish, fear things that we don't know or understand. But Homo superiors, they're pretty scary if they were real.
Yeah, definitely. Woo! We lost Rob for a second. Hopefully he'll go find his book so we can know what it is. Tate was saying it's like people are actively looking for things to complain about today and don't know how to just chill and enjoy the story being told.
Right. See, I got all fired up and I got kicked out like that. But let's not complain about everything so much, and let's not try to inject so much seriousness in everything everyone puts out. Let's have something that's just fun and good natured. I think the X-Men were wonderful comic book, wonderful cartoon. What did it teach me? I loved those characters.
Yeah.
I loved all the women. I loved all the guys. They were great characters.
Exactly.
I loved them whether they were black, Asian, white, or whatever, because they were just good characters and you cared about them and liked them. Once we start mixing our ugly real world into this too much, I can't even enjoy it. I don't really look forward to it. And I got to say, for the record, what they did to Rogue is terrible. And you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it won't. It won't bother me watching it or anything. But I agree with you there. Yeah. What can you do? I mean, it's 2020.
It's sad that we can say that though. It's 2020. I'm like, dude. I
mean, just Hollywood in general is so strange. They're like, oh, we don't want you. They're like, we don't want you looking at attractive women, and then so you're making a Madam Web movie, right? You have a perfect opportunity to hire an old woman in a wheelchair that's blind. Perfect opportunity. Nope, we're gonna get Dakota Johnson. But didn't you tell us that we were supposed to look at these attractive? I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
You're doing Sonic. I mean, you're doing Sonic. You got Eggman. You got a perfect opportunity to find a bald, overweight dude, and nope, you're gonna get Jim Carrey. You're like, oh, all right, man. They're like the worst people to judge us and to criticize us. Like they act like they have the moral high ground. Like no, they don't, man. They're just horrible people. A lot of them.
Tate is saying that at least half the videos he's seen is just complaining about the change.
Yeah. I mean, it's like comics. Some people draw women. That's how I look at it. Some people draw women better than others.
It's an escape. I want to watch an old X-Men cartoon now to escape my miserable day. I want to pick up a good comic book. I hope the new Fantastic Four is super fun in the 60s, because I want to escape.
Yep.
So part of that escapism is I want to see super strong people who are super buff and super hot.
Yeah.
Is that so terrible?
No.
And
You know, Seth knows, but the complaints only go one way, not the other way. It's like, yeah, what? Like, would you? I mean, like, I remember, I don't even know. I had a discussion online, and if you say this to any woman, they'll like, oh, I can't stand these women on these comics. They're so this and that. I say, yeah. What about those romance novels with those guys without their shirt? They're still being bait, and I just completely shut them up because they know it's true. They're like, oh, you know, well, Fabio has to have a job. I'm like, okay.
I've been a
sells, man.
for a long time. I've put up with shirtless Captain Americas and Thors and their Apex. It's never body shame me. I'm still fat. I'm rocking the dad bod. I don't care. It doesn't stop me from enjoying it. I want my Captain America to be in better shape than I am. I want Steve Rogers to look like a goddamn slice of American apple pie in every panel. You know? Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I want to escape to that. And even healthy, a part of me wants to get in shape again one day, other than the round shape I'm in right now. Like, is it so bad to want to, you know, reach higher?
Completely agree. It's just the weirdest thing, and the phrase bugs me out. People are like, "Oh, that's not realistic." I'm like, "It's a comic book. It's a comic book movie. What's this not realistic shit? What does it have to do with comic books? What does it have to do with fantasy?
It's fantasy, man.
Stop it with the not realistic shit. It's not realistic. It's a dude, man. A guy lifting 10 tons is not realistic." I've never understood that comment. You know, yeah, it's not realistic. It's not, people always ask me, "What's my favorite Batman?" And I always go, Adam West in the '60s because it was a lot of fun. Was it realistic? No.
That was such a fun show, man. Save Bat time, save Bat time. Bam, bam. That was.
Was it weird and campy? Completely.
Oh, yeah. You know,
and then they get upset because then the next thing I say is my favorite Batman is, of course, the original Batman 1 and 2, and then that's it. You know, and they're like, "Oh, what about the Dark Knight?" I'm like, "That's not a Batman movie. That is a whiny Batman movie with a guy who quits. It's not my Batman." And I know that's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
No. Ralph, see, here's the counter argument that the comic companies actually use for you. Do you know why Peter Parker and Miles Morales never meet up despite them both living in New York at the exact same time? It's not realistic for them to meet up because they both have busy schedules. Reminder, there's like 18 different buses that both connect them directly, and also 3 train lines that they both take to the exact same place where they go. Miles goes to school 3 blocks away from Oscorp. So please define to me how that is not realistic.
I mean, there's a certain
what Miles doing here when he shouldn't be here in the first place. Miles happened.
You have to suspend. You have to like suspend or suspend belief for just a little bit. It's like Dr. Octopus is robbing the bank. Spider-Man has to drop everything to go stop Dr. Octopus. There's like 1,000 heroes in New York alone. I mean, you don't have to drop everything.
Reminder. Kamala Khan is in the same office building as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And he meets with her on a weekly basis.
Well, that cross-continuity thing, when I was younger, I loved that cross-continuity thing. I loved what they did. And I find it so interesting. As I've gotten older, I hate that shit.
Why is that?
And here's why. I want my Spider-Man guy to be doing his Spider-Man shit in his Spider-Man comic. If there's something that happens and they get interconnected with the other heroes, no problem. But let whatever happens in Spider-Man happen in Spider-Man. It was easier before when okay, this is the Spider-Man comic. Sometimes they team up with other heroes, but whatever happens in the Spider-Man comic pretty much is whatever happens in the Spider-Man comic.
Well, it was handled better. Like right now, it's pretty much like everybody's doing their own thing, and they only like acknowledge all the other storylines when there's a big crossover. And there's like 10, 20 crossovers a year.
There's always a crossover.
There's 20 events a year. But that's like the only time they acknowledge so.
Wait. By your logic, they acknowledge it all the time. It's always a crossover.
Like me personally, I like when when they had an event like say like Inferno, so there was like everything in New York was a monster. See, and then and every story had everything had a. They said this recently on I think, but every what you call it, every story had a reason to tell that story within Inferno. Like in Spider-Man, you had the Hobgoblin sold to a demon and all this and that. Like I like that kind of connected. I like. So you didn't really need to go read Inferno and all that other stuff. All you had to know that there were monsters everywhere, and then you could just
you didn't have to read all the books.
Yeah. So when it's done that way, when I get everything I know in one book, like I'm fine.
I agree.
So it depends on how it's handled, like mostly, yeah. But I remember I didn't like one time with. I mean, there was like I know like when there was a time when Joe Quesada like when he first started, like at the same time like the X-Men destroyed New York City. So in the X-Men comics, New York City was destroyed. In Spider-Man comics, New York was perfectly fine. In Thor's comic, Asgard was hanging up right above New York, and I was like, when is all this stuff happening? I don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Tony, that meant that back then, you know what that meant? You were reading too many comic books.
Yeah, I know. It's like when does all this happen? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's like,
Tony, don't worry. It's not realistic. It's
well, like, this happened 1 week. That happened the other week. That happened the other week. I was like, I don't know.
It's fantasy, Tony. It's not supposed to be realistic.
Yeah.
I agree, but sometimes. So, Rob, I see the 30 mark. Are you going to stick with us or?
No, I'll stay with you guys.
Okay, good.
If you want me.
Because we're having fun.
Too much fun.
Let me see. Tate is saying, it's hard if you have to keep up with more than one comic to understand the context of everything that's going on. I completely agree.
Yeah. Like I said, when it's done very well, you don't have to just read one book.
Yeah, so another book that has something that's in the same series of books, it should give you something extra. You shouldn't have to go read that book to understand the main story.
Right.
I guess, but it's still at the end of the day, it's still a business, and they have to sell other books, and they want to give you an excuse to introduce you to other books. So I don't mind it done occasionally if it's done well. And there's like a nice guide to follow. Like, if you want more, read Cloak and Dagger #7. If you don't care what happens, then go on to the next issue of Thor or Spider-Man or X-Men. I like that a lot.
That's exactly what they used to do. See, but I like that because that lets you know what's going on and it lets you know, well, go check this book out. I remember, I love the old days where they're like, oh, if you want to know more about this, read Amazing Spider-Man issue 391 and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Well, that's at its worst.
It's a one page that has no relevance ever again.
When it's at its worst, it's like the Amazing Spider-Man. This is part 1, Captain America. This is part 2, Thor. This is part 3. That's when it's at its worst. I'm like, oh, come on, man. It's like, oh, well, I'm not going to know what happens because I'm not buying
Oh, but I like when they do mini series or limited series, and you buy those books, and then those books tell you the story. I don't mind buying those books.
Yeah, Marvel got really good at those limited series, those 6-issue, limited runs, and now occasionally the 4-issue ones. Like, there are some like real gems out there, especially if it's like, a character or a storyline that would never make it in a book.
Yeah.
Like give me anything with Dr. Doom, and I will read it.
Love Dr. Doom. I'm hoping that the MCU will stick them in there, but I have a feeling they're going to mess that up. I am excited because I saw the Fantastic Four and I saw the casting, and I like that old style and drawing that they've used for the Fantastic Four. It makes you wonder what they're going to do with it, but it does have that nostalgia feel of what Fantastic Four is.
Yeah, if they make it like a 60s nuclear family kind of story, it'll be super fun. And that's what I'm hoping they do with it. We'll see.
Sometimes I feel like like both DC and Marvel, they have the possibility of doing it because you have the multiverse, in both universes. So you can always say a multiverse story or a Elseworld story or a what-if story, and you can still do a whole other movie with all these characters and just add that to it, and people will go, oh, okay, this is not the the timeline that we're in. This is something else. You can do fun stuff like that if you do, and they have the capability of doing it.
DC has done it.
Yeah.
The Joker movie isn't in the main timeline.
They don't tell you that shit.
You know?
And I agree. Like I like Joker. It's a good movie. It's not the continuity Joker that we know, but it's a good Joker movie. But it's not our Joker.
You just wouldn't get it.
About the Joker?
Tony got it.
I didn't like that movie. if the movie had nothing,
Joker.
If the movie had nothing to do with like comic book Joker, it would be fine. Because it did, and I mean, I had issues with it.
That's what happened.
But as it by itself, it's a fine movie.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was a great movie, and it was even a great Joker movie. But I agree with Tony. If it wasn't the Joker and he was just some other psychopath, and it was just a story about him, like an American Psycho kind of thing, it would have been great too.
Exactly.
But the movie is good, but I feel like I can't watch it more than once.
I agree.
Like I never want to escape to that universe.
No.
I'm never like, oh, you know what I'm in the mood for? The Joker movie.
Watch the Joker again. I want to drive myself crazy.
Yeah.
It just feels like real New York, though.
It feels like 70s New York. I can
It feels
completely
like New York
agree with that.
today.
Dude, I was watching Joker and I'm like, dude, I lived through this. Why am I living through this again?
I don't want to know Joker's origin. I don't want to, there are things I just don't want to know. I need to do it now. Joker year one. I don't want to know this stuff, man. And just like this crazy guy comes out of nowhere and does this stuff. You don't know who he is. That's fun,
One of my favorite things about
when they revealed Wolverine's origin, it's like, come on, man. The origins we had in our heads were way better than what you did. So why do it? It's like, he's only 200 years old. We thought he was like 500, 1,000 years old. Like, oh, come on, man. He was a whippy kid that was sick. Oh, come on. What? It was a good story. No, Origin was a good story. It's not as a bad story. But at the same time, we didn't really want to know his origin, man.
But is it the
I don't want to know Gambit's origin either, and they gave us that. Stop,
is it the audience now wants it? I agree with you. Like I need a little mystery. I don't need to see everything that goes on.
Yeah.
In the world. Some things I want to my imagination. But do the audiences now want to know everything? And even in The Husband, like the garage scene. What did he show her in the garage?
I think the audience always wants to know stuff, but at the same time, I feel like when you give it to them, they go, "That's not what I wanted."
Do you ever satisfy them all? No, you can't satisfy them all. So some things are better a mystery. I'd be happy to never know the Joker's origin.
Yeah.
Or his real name.
I agree. I'll be.
It's like Killing Joke. I was like, hey, sometimes I remember, or I think even the Heath Ledger movies, they touched it a little bit. It's like every time he told his origin, it was different. And it was like, hey, sometimes I remember it this way, sometimes I remember it that way. The truth is out there somewhere. It's fine with that.
If the Joker's really crazy, he ain't gonna remember.
Yeah.
I don't need prequels to my movies that I enjoy.
Like Star Wars. I like the prequel Star Wars movies though.
Yeah, me too.
Those were decent. There was stuff I didn't like in there, but I love those. I love the whole thing they did. I understood what George Lucas was trying to do, and I can see how he failed as a creator to get to where he needed to get to. But that's different than what they did with the assassination of the last.
In general, I'm not a fan of prequels, even though there have been some good ones. And I'm not a fan of the concept. I was like, if that's where your story got interesting, that's where you should have started in the first place. You should have done that movie first instead of going back to the past. I'm like,
it's like a thing.
There are some good prequels, so I can't say so it depends on how it's done, but the concept is like, if that's what was most interesting, that's where you should have started your story in the first place.
It's like The Thing horror movie, perfect horror movie, and then they came out with a prequel to it. But I don't want to see that. I know they all die. I know they all die. The dog runs away to the next base.
Yeah,
I don't need to see it.
It's like doing aliens. We need to know where the aliens came from. No, we don't need to know where the aliens came from.
Dude, they had remember Prometheus, they had those cool aliens corpses. We had all this lore about what these aliens are. These are so cool. And then Prometheus comes out, oh, that's just the suit. And they take off their helmet. And they're blue people. No, don't want to. La, 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 la.
Oh, my God.
I need that in a loop, Tony, if you're just going, la, la, la.
Tate is saying it's hard if you have to keep up with more than one comic to understand. Oh, yeah, that was that. And now he's saying some things are better left to the imagination. I completely agree.
Imagination takes work.
Maybe that's what it is in today's. But I find that a lot of the times it's the machine, the Hollywood machine. They're like, hey, if we do this, we can make money. That's what it feels like to me. Like half the time is the Hollywood machine going, the audience doesn't really want this, but we think that we do this, they're gonna want it. And then when it fails, they go, it's the audience's fault because they didn't go see this crap.
Yeah, that's the weirdest trend, blaming the audience. It's like, why are you blaming people that give you money? I mean, that's weird. Like, why are you blaming your customers? Like, I don't know. Imagine you're in the grocery store and someone came and like, no, I don't want to buy anything. He's like, you know what? You're the problem. F you. Like, you'll be out of business. Like, they'll just tell everybody. I don't know. It's so strange. It's so strange. I mean, my thing is like, if you don't like people, if you don't like somebody, you don't like your audience, you know what's the worst thing you can do to them? Take their money. like you make the most toxic male fantasy and make them spend all their money. That's what you do to people that you don't like.
Well, at the end, you're all going to sign my petition to bring Rogues back.
Bring Rogues back. Bring Rogues back. Dude, Rogue's always been this beautiful Southern Belle type girl. Yeah, I don't understand why all of a sudden now she's not. And you're like, okay. Is there a reason?
It was an interesting part of her story. I mean, a beautiful Southern Belle who can't touch anyone and doesn't know any intimacy whatsoever.
Yep.
Like, that was interesting.
That was a great story.
And even now, I mean, if you want to be, change it up a bit, you could make her gay. That would be fine. Who cares? It still fits within it, and you have that duality. I just hope that they make Gambit gay, so Rogue won't be with him anymore.
A lot of people hate that pairing, Gambit and Rogue.
Yeah, a lot of people hate Gambit and Rogue.
Some people like Magneto and Rogue. But they were married in the Age of Apocalypse. Some people like that pairing.
Magneto and Rogue. That was Savage. That was Savage Lands.
Oh, also Savage Lands. Yeah, also. Yeah, they did have a little bit of a history. Yeah, and then when he was Joseph too, when there was a clone of him, the young Joseph, they were being flirty with each other. Yeah, some people like that pairing. Some people don't like Gambit.
Gambit.
Some people don't like Gambit. Period. There are people who don't like it. I remember Brubaker had here's my power. Look, here's a cup. I'm gonna make it glow and throw it. Here's my power. So,
I think the only interesting thing, well, one of the interesting things I saw from the trailer was when he made Magneto's claws.
Who reads claws?
Yeah, did nobody who made that trailer watch the X-Men before or read the comic book? Like, you're energizing his claws, they're gonna blow up.
Well, they're indestructible.
His flesh is gonna blow up. Like, makes it like, why they do it? Because they don't have Colossus in it, so they don't have a special move that they can come up with. There's no fast special in this.
That explains.
I'll forgive him if Wolverine does that move from that '90s arcade game where he had that laser adamantium. Shake, then I won't forgive him. It's a laser adamantium. What is that? But it's cool.
Sometimes I'll accept things like that if it's cool.
It's cool, yeah, they're really cool, man.
Gambit charging anything is not cool.
I gotta admit, when he first came out and he was powering up the cards and he was throwing the cards, okay, cool. Then after that, I was like, okay, that's your trick.
Yeah, I'll put my support behind Jubilee before I put behind Gambit.
Well, Jubilee was a better character altogether.
I always like Jubilee's self-doubt of, should I even be in the X-Men? Am I even powerful enough? Like, her struggle is very, like, power-centric in her belonging or not belonging. And I thought that was great. Same with Iceman. That was great, too. And then later on, Iceman is, like, an Omega-level mutant now. Once they, like, develop and understand the potential of their powers. I love that stuff. I love that.
Yeah, but it's so funny though, because I feel like a lot of that falls under that whole fan thing, where the fan goes, "Well, that character sucks," and they don't, they can't see beyond what they want to see, and it's one of the things I like to say on the show a lot is, whoever wins in a fight always depends on the writer, because the writer is going to write the story that he wants to write. He's gonna take care of the character he likes. And I know a while back I saw this whole interview with an old interview with Stan Lee, and I think he was interviewing I think it was Chris Claremont.
Yeah, there's a clip. Yeah, where he's arguing about who's stronger and
And he's talking about the fact, well, so and so didn't like Wolverine, so he wasn't using him, and then so and so didn't like Nightcrawler, so he wasn't using Nightcrawler. And I'm like, it just proves my point. It's like it all depends on who's the team working on the book. Because they're gonna let their favorite character win. Because you're as a writer, you can figure out how to make your character win. That's easy.
I mean, you have to have it. It really comes down to, even though it's conscious, it really comes down to having a good story, man. It doesn't matter who's stronger. I mean, at the end of the day, Spider-Man outsells Hulk. Like Batman outsells Superman. Like One Piece outsells Dragon Ball Z. Like, I mean, so all the people having who argue about who is stronger, they're obviously not voting with their dollars.
That's because most of the Dragon Ball fans aren't going out buying Dragon Ball manga.
See, yeah, you both just said the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, there's this video about this guy saying that I was talking about how Son Goku was like the most popular character, like the most Google search character last year, and he was like, he's the most popular character with no content coming out, no content. Like, dude, the Dragon Ball Super manga is still going on. The manga's going on right now. What are you talking about? No content. Oh, there's something besides the anime? Like really? Like,
you get a lot of that though. You get a lot of these fans who only know their characters from one source. Yeah. And they'll get upset and call you gatekeeper when you try to point out certain things. See, I wouldn't be pointing out certain things if you weren't be like a jackass about what you're saying.
Man, Ralph is really going off today. He's so glad he got the computer.
Are you on the new computer, Ralph?
No, I'm not on the new computer, but I'm almost there. I'm actually cleared off the table, so the new computer is going to go right here, and I'm going to be able to connect it to the screen to see how it works.
Are we going to get like a studio tour of the written Writ?
Yeah, once I connect.
Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to go over. I'm going to just film it.
There you go. Yeah, the new computer will be filmed. It will be filmed this way because I can't show that way. Because this is a set, which it should be changing soon because I'm about to get some more bookcases to actually level this out back here so it's not as crazy as it is right now. IKEA.
All right, Ben and Apple goes to IKEA.
I think my daughter would like that one. She's constantly going into all those little rooms and making her own stories. So.
Oh, you should see Shen's face anytime she goes to IKEA. Shen just loses it.
I can imagine Shen. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Have I told you that one of the few times I have ever seen her genuinely happy was when she walked into the kitchen sets in IKEA?
Oh, those kitchen sets are amazing. I wish I had half the kitchens in those sets.
Oh, Shen's commenting in the background to shut up about IKEA.
I'm agreeing with you, Shen. Come on.
Tony, what's on your top shelf behind you?
Ooh.
That's a Gundam, yeah. It's a Gundam.
Yeah, Tony's a big Gundam fan.
Can bring it out.
I would show off my setup, but I'm not using the one with the camera today. I'm at the dinner table.
Well, that's a Wing Zero. This is a Wing Zero.
Oh,
it's a custom version. It's a custom version. And there's this one. It does transform, but it's not transformed. And And I have another one. I gotta put it over here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put it back carefully.
Come on, pull out the 6-foot Gundam.
There's a different version. This one is actually transformed. It's a different version though. This is a TV. It's like a TV version, but they both transform. But this one looks better as a plane, and the other one looks better as not a plane. So this is the TV version has these kind of wings, and then the OVA version has those fairy wings. So yeah, so
Super cool.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful stuff.
I gotta put it over there.
I was gonna say you don't want it falling.
Yeah.
I got into Gundam briefly, but mostly all I have to show for it is a pile of plastic shame. Boxes of models this tall of unbuilt Gundam. Very sad.
Yeah, models are tough, man. Like, yeah. Take a long time.
Models are beautiful. They take a lot of money. I can't put them together.
Depends on your model.
Piles of stuff, just like Rob.
Yeah.
I still have like an Enterprise somewhere here that needs to be put together, but I don't think it's ever going to be put together.
Are we talking Lego Enterprise or?
I wish it was a Lego Enterprise. That'd probably be easier for me.
You get your kid to help you.
With the Lego one, yeah, definitely. with the other one, you have to put the glue and the. Oh my god.
Oh.
It's always a little at a time. Like you open a booklet and you try to do like a page a day or like 4 things a day, and a little at a time. The Gundam ones are tough because there's like no instructions. They just put all the different objects and like point to this, that, and you got to figure out what. There's no words. There's nothing. It's like here, do this, and that, and then and then you go. Sometimes you'll go a certain way, and you'll realize you put this complicated piece. You put it in backwards, so you got to go back. That's something else.
That sounds
It's
like
fun.
putting your furniture together.
It's fun though. It does take a long time. It's fun.
I know that a lot of people get to relax on it. I think with me, it's not one of those things that will relax me. It probably pissed me the hell off.
I can put them together. I just can't do any painting, any fine painting. I'm just, my eyes are just too old for that kind of detailed work.
Or put the stickers on, or
you have to use lukewarm water and a tweezer and then play it. Oh, and then it's never straight. You're enraged.
Yeah, I don't do the painted ones either. That's hard. I get the ones that are painted. Yeah, but the ones that are when you got to paint and glue. That's what hard. It's like the master kits.
Have you been to Gundam Planet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was there not too long ago, and I picked up the old Gatchaman Phoenix.
oh,
Cool.
oh,
Cool looking that I'm afraid to put it together, so I have it up on display in the box still.
that's what you got to do sometimes. Look at it, it's beautiful.
Like, I don't want to ruin it. And look, the artwork on the box is beautiful. And I'm like, it's potential someday.
Rob, I've seen people hire other people to do it for them.
Yes.
I mean, you can leave the box up there. No one will know.
Okay, guilty. I love Warhammer 40K.
Oh,
I love the game. There is only war. Space Wolves is my army. But I tried painting my Space Wolves. I painted on them. It looked like, I don't know. It looked terrible. So I paid to get my army done. But that's really expensive.
it is.
And I have like the Space Wolf army all painted. And I have no time to play.
Isn't it how it is? Like, I tried to get into 40K, and I realized this is a lot of freaking money.
40K is not worth the amount of money you got to put into it.
Unless you own a 3D printer.
Yeah, Ralph doesn't have that yet. Nor do I think he has the space for it.
Yeah, there's no space there's barely space for the computer. But I like the whole 3D printing thing, especially for D&D. You know, I know, Rob, you've probably seen it. Now they have these beautiful campaigns that do these 3D printing blueprints, so you can have these things. We just had Fate's End on the show, and the stuff that she was able to put together was like amazing. Oh my god. D&D is just like a whole other experience now.
Yeah, no, totally.
Oh,
3D printers are changing a lot of things, from D&D to action figures to stock,
definitely.
everything. They're like Kickstarters just for figures to 3D print, and the modeling skill is unbelievable. The sculpting, whatever you want to call it, the 3D modeling is gorgeous.
Exactly.
Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. It's breathtaking. It's a great time to be a geek, I have to say.
It is. It is a great time to be a geek.
Yeah.
It's funny though because now everything has to be online because before you have all these stores you could go to. You still got stores now, especially for if you're looking for the geeky stuff. But like in the old days, you go to Toys R Us and pick up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we're lucky living in the Northeast where we live, though. Like it's not that hard to find anything geeky since.
No, at all.
Years on up, we're pretty blessed in that way, I have to say.
Living in New York, man, you can just go.
New York.
You can living in New York, you can just go Manhattan, and you'll find a bunch of those stores up there, or even in Brooklyn or Queens, they have their own like geeky stores.
Yeah.
Folks, move to New York.
No, don't. It's not worth it. He's lying to you.
Move to Northeast New Jersey and enjoy New York City how it's meant to be.
Exactly.
Suburb of New Jersey.
Dude, man, New Jersey has the best view of New York. I've been on the New Jersey side, and you go like, "Oh my God, look at that view of New York!" And then you sit there going, "I wish I lived right here."
I mean, I would argue Sunset has a better view.
Really?
Yeah.
I was waiting for an explanation.
Have you ever been there at night? Well,
I have, yeah.
Like Industry City, and you just stand there and you see the entire island.
Yeah, but I find that you from that side you get the other side of Manhattan. In Jersey, you get the nice side of Manhattan.
I mean, Ralph, technically, we could just go up the big hill. If you know where like there's a little clearing on the trees.
Okay, yeah.
That's honestly a much better view. Like if you just walk down the cemetery just a little bit because there's no trees blocking, you get the whole island.
I think it all depends on what view you want.
Oh yeah, like a Highland Park. Yeah, there's a spot you can see like
Yeah. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York is made that way. You go to a certain place. I know when the towers are still there, the Twin Towers, you can see them from everywhere. The Freedom Tower, I can't see. Like I used to be able to see the Twin Towers from wherever I was. With the Freedom Tower, I'm like, is it there?
That's because they barely light it up. Because you can see Vanderbilt like pretty well.
And all non-New Yorker people are like, what's going on?
I live over in New Jersey, like we have better pizza and bagels anyway.
That's a lot.
It's true.
New Jersey pizza is the most depressing pizza ever.
I wouldn't say that much because I've had some great New Jersey pizza. Yeah, I've had some great New Jersey pizza. I've been to some beautiful places with some nice pizza.
I've had better pizza in Florida than I did in New Jersey.
How dare you, sir?
There is no better pizza in Florida. That doesn't exist.
Pensacola, Florida. There's a pizza place right on the beach that has so good pizza. I would compare it even with New York's pizza.
I don't know, man.
They probably our pizza's good because of the water. So
exactly.
Yeah.
they probably import the water from New York. There's a lot of places that they import the water.
It's just the amount of fluoride you have in it.
I know there's a place in California that they import the water and they make the pizza with the New York water. Yeah.
So then, is it even Florida pizza, or
it's still New York pizza?
It's
All right, folks. Let's see what we got here. We're coming near the mark over here, so let's see what we got back here in the rooms, showing off stuff, folks. This is some great stuff we have. This looks fantastic. I'm looking at this. We're gonna have these guys on a Monday to talk about this campaign here. We Can Be Heroes. It's a role-playing game with superheroes. And I know a lot of these have been tried before, but this is looking interesting.
Can we play the video of it?
Yeah, sure. I can play the video. Here we go.
Welcome to the world of We Can Be Heroes. I'm Spencer Reichley, founder of Budstuff Games, and I'm thrilled to share our new superhero tabletop RPG with you. What does the perfect balance of strategic combat mechanics and narrative gameplay look like? That's the question that inspired We Can Be Heroes, a tabletop RPG with plenty of collaborative storytelling and fast-paced action to drive the plot forward. What sets We Can Be Heroes apart from other TTRPGs? Our combat system is designed to capture the fast-paced, explosive, and tactical nature of superhero action. In our game, superpowers always hit hard, and every choice you make, both in and out of combat, shapes the world around you. Enter a world of incredible superheroes and diabolical supervillains. Embark on a journey through 5 unique cities, each with its own personality and purpose. Wield incredible powers and technology to aid in your missions and build your reputation with public factions to gain their support. Experience the ups and downs of a superhero's journey through our innovative public merit system. Your choices in roleplay and combat not only affect your progress, but also unlock rewards, providing a dynamic and immersive tabletop experience. Our world leaps off the page to the incredible artwork of Max Baer. From the front of the hardcover book to the in-game visuals, Max's work captures the essence of We Can Be Heroes. Imagine your favorite Saturday morning superhero cartoon, a comic book from your childhood, or a movie that left you in awe. That's the nostalgia Max's work brings to life. To bring We Can Be Heroes to life, we're launching a Kickstarter campaign. Our goal is to raise $9,000 to fund the first print run and commission additional artwork. We're offering a visually stunning hardcover featuring the player's rulebook, GM guide, and a starter adventure as a thank you to our backers. We've worked for over 2 years on this game, overcoming challenges and refining it into an award-winning experience. The biggest reward has been seeing the excitement from our players and fans as we develop the game. Join our growing community on Discord and social media. We're actively involved and excited to watch our fandom grow. Connect with us at in-person events and conventions and explore free online play materials. Expect We Can Be Heroes to reach your table by November 2024. We're fully transparent about our progress and committed to building trust with our backers. The PDF will be released once it's finalized, so you won't even have to wait for your hard copy. Check out the backer tiers. Consider getting a copy for yourself and a friend. We want to express our sincere gratitude for your interest in We Can Be Heroes. The journey has been long, but it's been a blast. We've created a special game. Can't wait to hear about your heroic feats. Together, we can be heroes.
Do any of you guys play any superhero RPGs?
I played I think what was it, Mutants and
Masterminds?
There you go. It was interesting. Did
Yeah,
you get to play any?
I love superhero RPGs, from the old Marvel one from TSR to DC Heroes by Mayfair Games to Blood of Heroes by Pulsar Games and Champions. And I find, like, the issue with them, or the challenge with them always, is they are so dependent on, one, the maturity of the players not just wanting to be Wolverine or Superman or Batman.
Right.
And the game master has to really create a world that is immersive to bring the players back to the table over and over again.
That's
like
true.
Dungeons and Dragons, you have your choice of settings.
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, Spelljammer, Dark Sun, whatever. Like, enough solid world settings that bring players back. As a GM for a superhero run, how do you keep the players at? What's the player retention rate of superhero TTRPGs? Perhaps we'll find out next week when they're on the show.
Exactly, on Monday. That's a good question to ask. I'm going to think about that. And it's funny, though, because I've played superhero games, and I know what you're talking about. It's hard to keep the attention. And then if you have a bad player in the group, it kind of messes everything up. Yes.
How dare you?
I didn't even talk about Matt. All right. Here's the other game that we're going to be talking about. They have started off. The little Kickstarter has gone off. If you are a writer, this is Write Wars, where you battle each other one sentence at a time. Everybody puts in their sentence, and then it's voted on what's the best sentence, and the game moves on. That it's a video game, it's a writing game. It's fantastic, especially if you're looking for ways to get your writer's flow going. This is the way to go with Writer's War. And I'll play the video so you guys can see the explanation, because he does a much better job than I did.
Hello, I'm Richard Boltz, Chief Joystick Waggler and Button Masher here at Boltz Entertainment. So do you want to see what's cooking at our studio? No, the development of Writ Wars. Writ Wars isn't just another game. It's a brand new genre. It's a competitive creative writing game where you and 7 other players work together, yet against each other, to craft a story. We designed Writ Wars to be as expansive as the player's imaginations. But Rich, I'm not a writer. How am I supposed to compete with the others? That's the beauty of it. When you break it down, it's really just one sentence at a time.
Nice.
Plus, with our plot point events that we spent hours and hours and hours working around the clock writing and coding. Just when you're stuck with writer's block or you're pinning down that epic sentence, surprise, a pesky goblin sneaks in to meddle with your masterpiece, or a not-so-metaphorical dragon incinerates your sentence. It's this chaotic mix of creativity and spontaneity that keeps our players on their toes, ensuring that every story is a unique, fresh whirlwind of excitement. So grab your quills and keyboards, dear writers, and join us on this epic adventure. Because who needs a battle royale when you could have a writing royale?
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Dude, this game is just epic. And you know how us writers are always looking for something to get our juices flowing? Dude. We had them on the show a couple of weeks back, and they were explaining this whole thing, and I had already found them online, and I was like, whoa. And they had this whole VIP thing, and I joined them for $1. I became a VIP, and I'm just waiting to play this game when it's all ready to go. I think Jordan as well has made himself a VIP.
I believe so.
It looks cool. It's definitely different. I love that.
Yeah, both of these games are doing pretty well. They both are funded already. This one's at 10,900, which is over their funding goal. So now everything is just to make sure the game is going to happen. But when we talked to them, they said that the game was going to happen whether this Kickstarter worked or not. They're ready to go. This is just to help them juice the wheels. So Writ Wars, go support it. It's out there. It's a lot of beautiful things in there with the rewards. Go check it out. Let's see. The other thing we got over here is our friend Fumigator. He's having a tough time. He's at 1,062, 50 backers, 21 hours to go, folks. And we got to help this guy out. He's actually been stuck, was stuck at 900 and something for a while. And his funding goal isn't that much. It's only 3,500. This is a great sci-fi story, has some Cuban elements attached to it. Folks, go check it out. Go support this. We still got 21 hours to get him to 3,500. Come on, folks. It's a good story. And since we're talking a lot of games here, I wanted to show my pals from Tentacle Kitty. Because, if you want to have a representation of your D&D character in cute form, this is the way to go. This is their campaign critters. Of course, I have mine. Oh, this is the other one. The beautiful little mage outfit for my pink Tentacle Kitty. All cool. And they have all the classes: rogue, barbarian, fighter, and dude, these things are cute as heck. And there's this cute mimic box. It's all cuddly.
Not cuddly.
They are until they bite you.
Right. Your character is traumatized, and wherever they go, wherever they sit down or sit at a table, they stab the table or the chair, just in case, because the PTSD from mimics is real, my friends.
That's the fun part of it. I love the fact that they're constantly like, is this a mimic? Is this a mimic? Is this a mimic?
Ralph likes this because he mostly plays DM rather than as a player.
Oh yes, soon they'll all be playing the game and wondering, what's the mimic? Oh man, I think that's all the stuff I have up and ready to show. Rob, tell them one more time all the beautiful stuff from you.
Rob Longo, Twin Productions. The Husband is streaming as we speak on Kings of Horror on YouTube. We are shooting actively for Meat Face for October and Halloween. And we got a lot of other things planned out for this year that I'm not going to spoil just yet, as they're germinating and cooking in the cauldron of everything within the Grove universe.
I have to say, as a person who's been part of this whole thing, it's been an incredible experience, a lot of fun, I know we say it when we're on the set and we're filming, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like a bunch of guys hanging out and making a movie they want to make.
Yes.
And you feel that when you watch The Husband. So, and then, he did such a good job in The Husband that you hate the character of the husband.
We're definitely blessed with a lot of talent on the acting side.
Oh, definitely.
You included, sir.
Oh, I appreciate that. Folks, go check out The Husband. Maybe you'll see a familiar face in there. I don't know.
Cadma?
Yeah, you're right, Cadma.
Why is she never on when I'm on this show?
That is true. Well, Cadma's always busy, so always busy. I think I'm gonna have to get a show together where you guys are both on the same show. Look at that. That's how hard it's gonna be. Mr. Nat, we got anything?
We have sign up for Lycan Solomon's Beast, which is going to be released in about next week. Then I believe Horus is also currently running as well. And that should be it for this week in terms of people that we know who have Kickstarters.
Coming up. Yeah, I think all the other people.
No, Horus is live now.
Horus is already live?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so. Jordan was saying that he signed up for it.
Well, it could be that he signed up to get notified. But let's find out. Horus.
I don't know, because all the rest of my Kickstarters are people I don't know.
You got more Kickstarters than people you don't know?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. You got my attention.
You haven't been paying attention to any of the conversation in the chat.
Dude, by the time I pay attention to the conversation in the chat, you guys have moved on to 10 topics. Oh, wow. This thing's moving up.
Yeah, Horus is live.
Yeah, no, Horus just actually, the numbers moved up as soon as I put it up.
Wow.
Horus, of course, it's our friend, Horus the Bunny. Dude, you know you want this bunny. Go get him. He is already funded. They're at 6,341, 178 backers, 15 days to go. Dude, if you love magic and you love demons and you love all that good stuff that comes with all that, if you love a nice Faustinian tale, then Hocus Hocus is your thing, and Horus is the man. I mean, the rabbit.
Oh, I do remember. Bombshell and Atomica, written by Kat Calamia and Phil Franco, is also live, but it only has 47 hours left to go.
Do they have 2 Kickstarters going?
Yeah.
Oh, because they got the other one,
3.
Right? Nightmare.
I think they have 3 because Bombshell Atomica is finishing. Their other one is currently active. I don't know about the third one, but I remember them talking about it.
So it's probably Bombshell and Atomica and the Nightmare, the Alice story. Yeah. Okay. Dude, Kat is a busy woman.
And that should do it in terms of comics and stuff. Aside from that, we have just a bunch of people who are putting out new stuff for new conventions that they're going to. Basically, just if you've seen them on our channel, they have something new this month. Check them out at your local convention because odds are they're there.
As is true. And we got a bunch of conventions coming up March and April because February is kind of low. Even though there's a couple of conventions, we just missed one this weekend as Cosmic Con was going on, and a couple of other conventions were going on this weekend too. This weekend coming up, I'm not sure. Is there anything happening this weekend coming up?
I don't remember anything.
For comics, no. For anime, yes.
Okay. Is it like a convention? Is it or something else?
It should be. Give me 1 second. I just need to go to the schedule listing. Give me 1 second.
Is Demon Slayer this week?
Yeah, Demon Slayer was last week. This is the last weekend for the world tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember anything big happening this weekend, and then the weekend after this one is the first weekend of March already, and March is going to start off with a blast if I remember right.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this weekend in terms of anime. None of them are big ones that you specifically know.
Mm-hmm.
But coming up, there is Kawaii Con coming up. A-Con actually just got canceled, which is kind of sad. It was the longest running anime convention in North America. 33 years, and it got shut down this year.
Wow.
Yeah, little rough.
Right.
Yeah.
That looks like that's it, folks. Tony, you got anything?
No. I'll probably do another write-up, another type-up on Monday. They'll probably do. Oh no, it'll be Tuesday, like always. I'll probably do another type-up, and I don't have my otaku lamp up, but get yourself an otaku lamp. Use the code HAGAR10 to get 10% off. I don't have it up today, but they're cool.
Those are some nice lamps, yeah.
Yeah. So,
all right, folks. I think that's everything. Rob, thank you for being here. It's been a great geek out. We covered a lot of basics.
Thank you for your support of Orcus and all it stands for. Pertinent, Rogue and your signature and donations.
Save Ruby's booties. Folks, with that, I will do what I always do on the written Writ. I'll press the button and we're